Happy Saturday, everyone. Saturday evening. Hope you had a good Saturday here. It was like up to 50 something degrees and nice and sunny. I'm sure everybody here in Memphis got out and spent time with their family outside. Probably did a little yard work, washed their cars. Me, I work on projects. So, what happened was I removed the rear end out of the 68, which had everything on it brand new. New brake shoes, wheel cylinders, backing plates, brake lines. I just removed the whole rear end out of the 68 and put it over in the 74. Just got it in there a little while ago. So it's all under there. Even the shocks are new. And this is the old rear end out of the 74. Looks like it had some leaks. The brakes wasn't locked up on it, but I already know that the wheel cylinders are probably toast. There's your rear hydraulic shocks. So I just went ahead and removed the whole rear end, and I'm going to stick this rear end back into the 68 and get it where it's movable. And also I removed the brand new gas tank that was installed in the 68. It's brand new, nice and clean inside. So it will be going in the 74, which the gas tank in the 74 was full of bad gas. I mean, I hurried up and got it out of the shop, and it had some rust in it, so it's toast. So anyway, that's us. One more step we're taking to get this thing on the road, get the gas tank in it, get the brakes bled up and stuff, and hopefully we'll be taking a few spins around the block pretty soon. As for this one, probably going to get off some more bits and pieces. It does have a good mirror that I'm going to use for the 74, and it's got a nice set of door panels. They just need to be cleaned up, which the one on the 74, they're coming apart and they're kind of curled up. The 74 is also missing the speedometer, which this one has. We're going to take that out of there. And some more odds and ends. Like I said, I know the door panel, speedometer. Anyway, I hate to take this car apart, but like showed you guys, it has a lot of bundo over the years, a lot of rot, and that's why the project on it stopped. You can see there it's toast. So I'm gonna part it out. Maybe someone want to buy a parts car. I mean, if you guys watching, if you need a parts MGB GT, this is a 68. I also have another 68 that's it's basically a shell, so I'm probably just gonna sell them together. I don't really want to scrap it. It's got a lot of good glass, chrome trim. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to work, get this thing where to move around, and who knows what I'll do next. Alright, so now I have the new gas tank installed up under there. There she is, nice and new. Also got the emergency brake cable hooked up from the front to the back. And I went ahead and removed the fuel pump, which goes right there, and it is over here. That is the fuel pump that was on there since 1995 or whenever it was put on. So what I'm going to do is hook some power to it and see does it work. It was buzzing when I first cranked the car, then it quit. So I don't know if it locked up. I know it had a lot of bad gas in the fuel line, so what I did, I disconnected the fuel line up front and took my air hose, stuck it in a hose that I just put on the metal line, and I blew all that stuff out real good. And boy, it is funky in here. It smells like that bad gas. I mean, just the odor is unreal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my battery charger and just barely touch the leads, and we'll see if this pump come back to life. Hopefully do. And if so, we might use it for a little bit, just so it can run off the fuel tank, and I won't have to put in a universal pump for now. But let me get the supplies and we'll do it. So I got the charger. What I'm going to do is just plug it up and put the cables to it. Just see what it does. So we got our, let's see, red and black, so I guess that will be hot. And the other one will be ground. Here we go. Sounds like a speaker. It actually works. I felt some air blowing out of this hose here, which this is the outside and that is the end that goes, the fuel goes in and comes out to the carb. So it actually works though, so we'll be putting it back on there. Let's see. Sounds like an old speaker or something. So now we know that the fuel pump works. Well, we know it hums. I felt air blowing out of it, so it ought to do something. So I'm just going to clean it up a little bit and stick it back up under there and hook the fuel line up, and then we'll go to the front and run the fuel line to the carb. Alright, now we're going to swap out the clutch and brake master cylinder. I know the clutch pedals won't move, so that means that they're probably froze, each master cylinder. And we're going to swap out the slave cylinder that goes on the transmission. Now both of these is off of the orange car, which were new. They still have fresh fluid in them. So I'm going to remove the slave cylinder from the side of the transmission, and we'll stick that on. And then I'm going to remove the clutch brake master cylinder from over here, and then we'll stick that on, and then we'll get those bled up and try and get some brakes and a full working clutch. As you can see, this one is very crusty and rusty. This line right here, you can see that it's got some dry rot cracks in it. I think you can see that. So it's just these two bolts, just like before. These two bolts here, there's a pin that had a clip in it that slides through that arm that goes to the throwout bearing, and this hose actually bolts to a fitting that goes to the line that goes up to the master cylinder. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that removed, and we'll get it, the other one, put on. So here's the old slave cylinder. You can see here, sorry, it's pretty old. Had to end up cutting the line to get a socket on the other end to get it off. And this pin right here was just wore out. That was about to break. That is actually was a pin that operates the slave cylinder. It goes in there like that. And then when you push on it, it pushes your throwout bearing, where you can look at the pin and tell it's chewed up. So that was going to be an issue, even if it did work. But let's see if I can get up under here. Sorry about all the jumping around now. But she is installed with the line and everything. So, and I got the pin that came out of the other one in there, nice and tight. So anyway, now it's on with putting the clutch master cylinder. The clutch master cylinder and brake master cylinder on, and get this thing bleeded up. Alright, so now I got the brake and master cylinder swapped over to the car, and now it's just time to bleed them up. I got a good old brake bleeder there, so I'm going to try and bleed the clutch and brakes up, and maybe we can get this thing out and cut a couple blocks. So I'm gonna get it jacked up, try and get this thing bled out, and then we'll go from there. Alright, I just got the clutch master cylinder bled up. I used the good old mighty bat. Pedal feels kind of hard, so I'm going to crank it up and see what it even moves. Make sure the clutch is not stuck. Greased. It's kind of stiff, so I'm gonna have to find out if there's some kind of grease fitting up under there, but it does go in gear, so that's a good thing. So now it's just getting the wheels off and bleeding the brakes all the way around. While I'm under there, I'm gonna see there's some kind of grease fitting on the shifter, because like I say, it's kind of stiff going in the gear, but it's just been sitting. So let me get the brakes bled up, and we'll go from there. So I'm starting to bleed the brakes, letting all the air in the system and the old fluid just flush out into the mighty vac. Sucking it down slowly. I already did the back wheel, so this is the front. Got a lot of air in the system. Should start picking up pretty solid in a minute. The back there, it did pretty good. Sorry about all the noise. Air compressor's on and this thing makes noise. Starting to suck it on down. I'd rather get all that old fluid out of it anyway. Still got a little ways to go. So anyway, I'm going to finish doing this and then we'll hop to the other side and get that all taken care of. Alright, so I got all the brakes bled up. Let's see where she stopped. A little bit more bleeding, but it'll be all right just to drive around the neighborhood just to test it out. But like I say, the brakes they stop pretty good. Clutch is working, but I don't have any lights, so unfortunately it didn't get dark outside, and I got to fix the lights in order to drive it if I want to drive it tonight. So anyway, we're still just moving along with it. We're going to try and get it where it can go around the block. What's going on, guys? It's going to be the first test drive of the 74 MGB GT. Got everything hooked up, brakes bled, clutch bled, fuel system. So here we go. I got me a new cameraman today. Hope it don't fall apart. me see that, Mr. Cameraman. Thank you, thank you. All right, she runs pretty decent as far as the suspension. Could use a little tuning on the suspension, but she do run pretty good. If I can get the hood up. I got the air breathers on, so that kind of helped it out a little bit. Thank you, Mr. Cameraman. So anyway, guys, it runs, it drives. Like I say, you need some suspension work a little bit, and probably need to go back through the brakes and re-bleed them again. But other than that, it's a pretty cool old car. Everybody was like, "What is that?" going down the road. So anyway, probably going to just try and throw a camera inside. You guys can ride with me. So let me do that, and then we'll get to something else. Hey guys, you're in the car with me now. Like I say, suspension wise, really needs to be worked on. I don't know, because I got the 15s on the front, or these tires might have flat spots in them. Still got to tune the carburetors a little bit. Clutch seems to be working good. It's not slipping. Dog, gotta keep on the chain. That's by putting the air breathers on it, kind of put a little bit more back pressure on the carburetors. It still is going to need new spark plugs and stuff like that. Clutch is real grabby though. Oil pressure looks good, temperature looks good. Like I'm in a race. 24 hours of Le Mans. Corner's real good though. British sports car. And the brakes are still kind of iffy. One more block and we're putting her up. Runaway MGB. Woo. Ah, wrong gear. The gears are real close together. Like reverse is real close. Not bad for a car that's been sitting since 1995. The exhaust sounds pretty good. Once I got to get it ran out the back. Right now it's just kind of tied up under the floorboards. Starting to get dark. No headlights. There she goes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it does run. Like I say, you can still use some spark plugs. Look how low my pipe is. British Leyland. How about a little exhaust sound? Well guys, I hate to cut you short, but it's getting dark and it's time to put it up. So anyway, you guys like the channel, remember to subscribe, share, leave some comments. There's more to come for the channel. There's more projects. This won't be the last time you see this one. We got more plans for it. So anyway, just hang in there. Y'all be safe. And we'll holler at y'all next time.